Welcome back, guys, to the series where we try and determine which tanks are the best, the most OP, the most dominant, perhaps even the most broken in each tier for each class. And today we are working on Tier 8, the Tier 8 series. We've already looked at light tanks and medium tanks, and yes, there is a broken tank in each of those classes at Tier 8. We've looked at heavy tanks and TDs. It was an equal distribution of results in those classes. Now we're going to look at SPGs. Here are all the SPG games loaded. Now what I mean by broken is when you look at the extreme results, the top results like you do on this website, you can sort them. We can sort them by damage. We can sort them by damage assist. Damage assist is like fake XP for SPG, so we'll forget about that. We're going to sort by damage. SPGs need to do damage, and we'll look at the top 10 results ranked by damage for this patch. And the number one result is an M40 M43. Number two, M40 M43. M40 M43, SU14, the Russian, M40 M43, GW Tiger, the German one, SU14 again, SU14, GW Tiger, surprised, SU14. Only 3 SPGs in the top 10 damage games. We're going to watch the top 2 games. Top 3 are all-American. This has been consistently the case for the SPGs at Tier 10 and at Tier 9, dominated by the American ones. We're going to watch these top 2 games and see how they did it. And so to summarize those results, 8 out of the top 10 games, 8 out of the top 10 games by damage in this patch by Tier 8 SPGs were the M40 M43 and the SU114 too. That was the case in Tier 9 and Tier 10, pretty much. America's the best, Russian second. And I know, you guys are going to say, well, what about the British ones? Well, they just don't rank. Except in Tier 10, they dominated the results only because mixed in with all the regular battles were Clan Wars battles. And the only reason British SPGs are used in Clan Wars battles, the Tier 10 anyway, is because it has a lot of ammo. It can lob shots over cover, which is good for hitting stationary Muppets, of which there's not many in pub games. But in Clan Wars, sometimes the whole freaking team just hides behind a rock and waits for 7 minutes for the commander to decide what to do. If you've ever played Clan Wars, you know that's the case. There's a lot of sitting together and waiting, and that's why the British Tier 10 SPG is the tank of choice. The SPG of choice in clan battles. You can just pound them while they sit there and wait. But in pub games, it's different. We haven't seen any French SPGs in the top 10 results, I don't think. In any class we've done, or in any tier we've done so far. Sorry, I'm mixing my words here. We haven't seen the German one very often. Haven't seen the British one very often in any tier, except for Tier 10 for Clan Wars battles. So if you're going to go down the SPG lines, I'd say stick to the American line. Every tier is good. Every tier. So far, we've done Tier 10, 9, and 8. Those are the important tiers. In each of those cases, the American SPGs rank, if you sort by the 10 best, most damaged games, there's always 4 or 5 or 6 in the top 10 results. American. Russian as well. Surprisingly. We're going to watch 2 American ones today. 2 M40, M43s, because they got the top 3 results. But the SU14 too, its strength is, surprisingly, guys, it aims quickly. We're going to talk about these results a little bit more, but just what I've noticed in watching the replays and playing these SPGs in my Sheriff's account, I get to play them all because I get them all, is that each SPG has a different gun arc. You look at the V on the map, the white V in front of his little white arrow that tells you the traverse of the gun, that the amount of angle he can traverse his gun without moving his hull. The American ones have a pretty good gun traverse. The British one has really good gun traverse. The French one, when you get to Tier 10, has 360-degree gun traverse. The Russian one has a very narrow angle. You have to keep moving your hull, which is viewed as a weakness, because when you move your hull, your aim circle blooms and you have to re-aim. See, like he's moving his shots here. The aim circle's not blooming that much. It's still moving because his turret's moving. Now he can shoot the 3 Stooges there. And he likes to not look at the... He missed! He missed all 3 Stooges! RNG said no. But getting back to what I was saying is there is less bloom when you don't move your hull. Okay? But what I've noticed is when I play the Russian one, which has a very narrow gun arc, you have to move your hull a lot to move around the map because it's such a narrow angle. It doesn't matter. If you have to shoot someone that's 90 degrees to your left, your hull traverses quickly and you still aim faster than all the other nations, especially at tier 10. Give it a try. Watch my tier. Now he's not looking, keeping his fingers crossed. He missed again, but he missed and did almost 1,000. That was close for 1,000 damage. Almost. I'm exaggerating. Not over 900 damage. That was close. The SPG, you know, you miss and you do 900 because the three Muppets are sitting together and not moving. But what else are they going to do on this map, right? So getting back to what I was saying, you can watch, I've done this series for tier 10 and tier 9, especially the tier 10. I think one of the top results was the Russian one. Actually, I can't remember. You might want to watch that. Have a look for yourself. But I've tested it in my sheriff's account. And let's see if this shot hits. When he shoots, he pulls the camera away and crosses his fingers. This guy. Who is this guy? Pikachu with glasses. He needs glasses. Every time he shoots, he looks away. He doesn't like to see the carnage he unleashes. He just pulls the trigger and looks away. Very interesting. That's the other thing. There's some interesting play styles I've noticed from you guys. Not sending, but from looking at these replays. But I've tested it at tier 10. With all the SPGs, what I've done is I've pointed away from the target. And then with the stopwatch said, go, turned my aim 180 degrees behind me to someone who's at the other end of the map, waited to fully aim, and then fired the shot. How long does that take? For each SPG in the game, there's 5 nations with SPGs. I did it with all 5. And you'd think the one with the widest gun arc would be the fastest to do that, right? The French one has 360 degree gun arc. It can just traverse its turret. No, it's the slowest because the turret moves so slow. When you play the French one, you should traverse your hull as well, or otherwise it'll take you forever. It's the absolute slowest by a factor of like 4. Surprise. Which one's the fastest? The Russian one, even though it has the narrowest gun arc. That tank, the tier 10 SPG, you say go, and that thing traverses its hull 180 degrees, so it's pointed the other way, and then aims so fast that you are ready to press the trigger on a fully aimed shot faster than any of the other SPGs in the game. So there you go. The gun arc, not the gun arc, but the amount that your gun can move left and right. Although people talk about it like it's a strength or weakness because you can aim faster if you don't traverse your hull. That's simply not true. It's simply not true. What's true is, I'll tell you what's true after he takes this shot. Take the shot. Is he going to watch it this time? Yeah, bullseye. Oh, that was only close for about 400 damage. What is true is, for a tank that has a gun arc like this one, look at the V on the map. It's moving as he traverses his hull. It's faster for him to aim at a target within that arc when his hull is stationary than it is to traverse his hull and aim at someone outside that arc. That is true. Okay? He's aiming here. If he wants to aim to the southern portion of the map now, he has to traverse his hull and re-aim. That will take longer than to just aim a shot within that gun arc stationary. That's true. But what's not true is that the Russian one, even though it has a narrow gun arc, will take longer to aim at everyone because it has to traverse this hull. That's not true. The Russian SPG will aim faster. See how he's aiming at this guy now? If he changes his mind and wants to shoot a guy directly in the south part of the map and has to traverse his hull, the Russian one will be able to aim that shot carefully. Not that it matters for this game because he just smackarooed that guy in the face for over 400 damage. Beautiful. enough of that. And I'm not saying there's Russian bias. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just trying to explain how the SPGs work, because when people look at the statistics and they look at, and I've seen videos, people talking about them. Oh, you want this one because it has a better gun arc. You know, the French one can. The French one's the slowest. The British one has a wide gun arc. Yeah, but still, when you want to go from the extreme left to the extreme right, that turret moves really slowly. And sometimes it's better, if you want to get a quick shot, to traverse your hull to get your shot on the target. And then, even though your aim circle is bloomed more because you traversed your hull, in total, you'll be faster to traverse your hull and aim than to let your turret slowly turn and aim. The best, I think, is the American, because it has a fairly wide arc, but not that wide. Within the arc, see, now he's moving to this target. He can go to this target, and his gun did bloom quite a bit there. You see how that takes a long time to aim, actually. But you see how he's moving now within the arc? He can do this. No, now he's traversed his hull and it bloomed more. He's not giving us the example I'm wanting to see, but you guys are following what I'm saying. It's not necessarily the case that it'll take longer if you move your hull. It just isn't, especially with the Russian one. You have to test them out. Do it for yourself. Do a test. But let's enjoy this game now, which is close. It's 12-10. They're winning. He's an SPG, and he's actually realizes that P stands for propelled. That's the reason he's not aiming now. It's because he's in aerial view, but he's actually moving his tank. That's why it's doing this. It's not bad aiming here, guys. It's he's actually traveling. He's keeping an eye on the map, but he's pressed the W key because he knows that P stands for propelled. This is important. Why has he moved? Why did he bother? Well, because he's a little closer now, so he's a little more accurate, and the shell will arrive there quicker. Poop! For 500 damage! And good SPG players will do this, especially near the end of the game. They'll move up with, if they're winning, if they're safe. If he's not safe, I understand. Hide in the bushes. Bush, right? But when you're safe and you think you're winning, it is a good idea to move up with your team. Because you'll be more accurate from shorter range, and the shell will get there quicker. And he's moving up a little bit more. No, he's not moving up now. Now he realizes that, holy shit, we're losing. And he's worried about getting flanked, and he's moving towards the positions that his team had secured. He's worried about enemies coming from the south. He's getting into some bushes here, and he's hoping the J Panther 2, who is retreating. Uh-oh, your teammate is retreating. That's always good. Why is he retreating? There he is. He's going, why are you retreating? What's wrong with you? Spot for me. No, he's... Oh, look at this. He... The J Panther 2 was retreating because he was scared. The charioteer moved up to shoot the J Panther 2. And kaboom! Now, guys, when I do these videos, I watch these games live with you guys, okay? I do not usually cherry pick my videos off a website. I don't just search for the best games and show them, right? That's not what I do. I usually show your games, regular schmoes, regular people having great games. But for this series, we sorted them. We're picking the absolute extreme games, and there is a little bit of luck involved in these extreme games. And I'm watching them live like you are, so that was funny. Now the J Panther 2 feels safe. Oh, I can move up again. And he has spotted someone. Oh boy, nope. Oh, the J Panther 2's dead. He's going to shoot the Borsig. This is a smart move because he has to take out the Borsig. Is he going to fire the shot? He's going to disappear. RNG, shoot! Woo-ha! America! Holy shit! Now, I don't even know if this is a win or loss, guys, but he's already done a ton of damage. That was a brilliant move. Hats off to you. He had a sure shot on a slow-moving SPG, his counterpart. But if he shot the SPG, there's no way he'd out-detect or win the game on the Borsig. It'd probably be a draw, or if he got detected, a loss. But now at least he's got a chance. It's SPG versus SPG. If they encounter each other, it's just It's shotgun mode now, but look at the view range circles. Look at the green circle. That's his maximum detection range. It's very unlikely he's going to detect this guy, right? Unless this guy just drives around in the open. Let's see what happens here. Last known position is with... Oh, there he is. There he is. And now he's... Oh, boy. He's got 1 minute and 20 seconds. Oh, he doesn't have a shot. You don't have a shot. You got to chase him up the hill. Is he going to... He's... No, no way. Hoo-ha! America! Aced, holy shit. Those shots. Over 5,000 damage, 5,000 damage? 5,300? He did some damage assist? With spot, no, he did the spotting himself, so he got more XP. He got over 5,000 damage, guys, in a tier 8 SPG. Oh, boy. So the conclusion, we're going to watch another game here, but I can tell you right now, the conclusion, is there a broken SPG at tier 8? No, I don't think so. There's two dominant ones. Let's just say they're not broken, they're two dominant ones. The GW Tiger had 2 of the top 10 results, you know, because the GW Tiger, the gun does a lot of damage, and in the right circumstances will have a good game, but it's not very mobile. It's slow. It's too slow. Can't consistently do well because you can't relocate and get better angles. Right? The Russian one obviously is doing well in the there's two dominant, I'd say there's 2 dominant SPG lines. The Russian line and the American line. And then there's the fanboy Leave It to Beaver line, that the British one that everyone goes on and on about. The content providers from Europe go on and on and on about. But I disagree. And it's just my opinion, and I've looked at the extreme results, I've looked at the average damage, I've played them myself, and I can tell you that the British ones, we're not watching any British game here because they didn't rank any in the top 10 here, but even at tier 9 and 10, what I found playing them myself and looking at all the data is that when you get to tier 10, the tier 10 one dominates in clan wars because it carries the most ammo. And in some clan war games, because the games go 15 minutes and the first 11 minutes is the teams just hiding and eyeing each other up, that you have time to fire all your shots. And there was some examples of the top 10 results, I think. 10 out of 10 results in tier 10 SPGs were all clan wars battles with the Conquer gun carrier. But then if you look at the data, if you remove the Clan Wars games, then something like 7 out of the top 10 results were the American T92 with the big motherfucking gun. Because it's all RNG with SPGs. And the extreme results, when RNG says yes, if you got the biggest motherfucking gun, you're going to get the highest damage games. And even the highest on average damage games. And when I played them myself, I played quite a few games in all of them just to test them out. I found in pub games, for the tier 10, for the high tiers, the British SPGs were good versus Muppets. Meaning people that just sit there, you hit them once, right? They're hiding behind a rock or something, and you hit them once with your tier 10 British SPG, and then you have to reload for 30 seconds. If they're stupid enough to sit there and not move and stay very still for you, then the best one is the British one, because you're going to keep pounding them. You can hit them behind cover, and it hits hard, and you're going to dominate versus Muppets that don't move. But if they move, if you just move even a little bit, you know, rock back and forth, a couple of tank widths, if you just move, it's hard to hit anyone with the British high tier SPGs because the shell has such a high trajectory it takes forever to get there. Then for the low tiers, all the way up to tier 7, the British ones for me anyway, and you know, this is the No Bullshit channel where I give you my honest opinion. I don't just you know, it's not a Leave It to Beaver assessment. I hated all of them because they don't have range. You can't shoot to the other side of the map. So why the hell would you want to go down an SPG line? I mean, the only... if you like playing SPGs, if you like playing artillery, one of the only benefits is you can hide at the back of the map and hit and shoot everyone, right? Look at this guy. He's on the red line. He's hiding at the back of the map. He's got, while I've been babbling, he's done over 1,000 damage. Maybe some blind damage as well. And he can hide at the back like a pussy, right? That's what you do when you play SPGs. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. That's a part of why people play SPGs. You sit at the back and you shit on everyone. Well, with the British ones, all the way up to tier 7, you can't sit at the back of the map and hit the other side. Some of them you have to move because they don't have the range. you don't. Your shell doesn't go. Your shell goes up over the moon, and you only have a range of half the map. So you have to like move forward, like an idiot, to the middle of the map, and you can get into some very sneaky positions. Which there's a whole different skill set to playing the British artillery. But the point is, if the game starts going sideways, or if you move up into and your teammates relocate and you make one little team leave that flank open and one enemy wheeled vehicle moves forward, or so, you're in the middle of the map because you don't have, and then boom, you're taken out. It's just a frustrating, to me personally, a frustrating, horrible line to play. That's my opinion. Let's get back to what we were doing. Who is this guy? We forgot to introduce the... boom. Wow. Almost 500 damage on a heavy tank. This is Jazir. He has a different way of playing. You notice this guy's more in that... What's that? You press G to have this different perspective. Unlike Pikachu with glasses, who obviously needs the top-down view because he needs glasses. I use both perspectives. I like the top-down view better. Guys, they're the same. You just have to get used to which one. One is not more accurate than the other. You just have to figure out where to aim using each one. With the top-down mode, you want... the advantage for me on the top-down mode is it highlights the tank. When you put the aim dot on it, you can see the red outline, and you can see as your trajectory is going to intersect that tank. And you learn to judge whether you need to aim a little bit in front, a little bit behind, depending on how much elliptical your aim circle is. When you're using this different perspective like he has, he's almost in top-down mode now because he's trying to make this shot count. The guy's got to back up a little bit, right? You take the shot, boom. When he's does this mode right here, when he's like this, I noticed that well, for one thing, you don't get the enemy outline, which is annoying. That bothers me. But what you have to do, I think the circle is a little deceiving. You have to aim slightly in front of the target, the way I see it here. Watch, you have to go like this and be slightly in front of the target, because the shell, if you put that aim dot like on the target in this mode, the shell will always go over top. Boom. See? That was good. If you put your little aim dot right on the target in this mode, 90% of the times your shells whiz right over top of the target. You have to aim kind of down at their near the front of the tank. Yeah, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. I think if you're an SPG player, you know what I'm talking about. All I'm saying is, whatever mode you use, you have to get used to where to aim. And different people play different mode. Let's see if he does it on this shot. He has to aim just in front of the tank there. And I think that hit. And he aimed a little bit in front because that guy was moving. But I don't think it's not a perfect example. But I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm talking about. And this game could be a draw. You know, I think for tier 9 and maybe tier 10, some of those, when I sort it and I look at the top 10 results, a lot of those results, for SPGs anyway, okay, watch where he aims this. You see that? Like that. Just barely, don't just like that. And you see where the shell went? If you replay that last 10 seconds and you see where that aim circle was, he aimed right at the base in front of the tank. The shell never goes low. It almost always goes high in this mode. You know what I'm saying? You watch that shot again. If you aim right at the tank, see how he's aiming just in front of it almost, like this. That's how he's going to aim. And the shot always goes, he's going to move it in front of it here. Watch, right there. Let's do it. Come on, he's not right. No, he didn't do it. Anyways, what was I saying? When I look at those top 10 results, many of them are draws. Some of the highest damage result games for SPGs are when, you know, it's a draw. Why? Because they get to sit at the back and shoot all their shots until they have no more ammo. Speaking of which, he's only got 2 shots left. And then you have the highest damage game, right? And that's why, for Clan Wars, let's mention that again, the British one is the one of choice. It carries the most ammo. And if a Clan War game goes 15 minutes, you don't want to be out there with the Russian one that only has, what, 15 shells, I think? You don't want to run out, right? Simple as that. But in most pub games, you don't get to the point where you run out. It's these rare games that last the long, and this could be a draw or maybe not. The longer the game, the longer you can just keep shitting on people, and the more damage you're going to do in your SPG from the safety of the back. Well, guys, we've reviewed all the Tier 8 tanks. There's no premium tanks, SPG premium tanks, but what we've noticed, some of the conclusions, most of the top results in every class except SPGs, light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, TDs, were all premium tanks. Not all of them, but most of them. Pay to win at Tier 8, boys. The light tanks, when you looked at the results, EBRs, broken. Medium tanks, Burask, broken. All the other ones seem to be balanced. And we've had fun, haven't we? If you enjoyed this series, please subscribe, guys. Support the channel. And due to popular demand, I'll do this for Tier 7 and Tier 6. We can share this time together and enjoy this wonderful game that we play. Yes, I'm calming down. The music is soothing, the Savage Beast. Beautiful game there, G-Zier. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. I love you all, and we'll catch you on the next one, which will be tomorrow.